Thanks for joining us. So this is the first week of the program, Dare to be Human. And every Thursday evening, we will be going live from our living room. And each week we will have a different expert to talk about different weekly themes of our program. So we start the first week about the topic of the first week is actually about life transitions. And we also call it Dare to Change. And today with me is Andre, actually one of the founders of the whole program and also Shiftmindful. And with him today, I will talk about life transitions. We thought how actually he would be the perfect person to talk about life transition because he had quite a journey from his own personal life. And he went through quite some life challenges and life transitions. And I'm sure you would hear a lot of interesting things from his story. Hi, Andre. Thank you for joining us, and actually for accepting to be the first one to break the ice in the program.
Yeah, it's maybe it was easy to say, but now we're breaking the ice. I'm really curious how it goes with the interview, but also the technical part, if everything works out. But elsewhere, we do it again.
Yeah, it's gonna be perfect. So this week's theme, so as you know, and as many people already probably know, we have a group of 14 young people who joined the program Dare to be Human. And we have workshops, we have different reflection groups, and also we have interviews with experts. So I have prepared some questions for you regarding the theme. And those questions will be live streamed, so everybody will be able to hear them. And then afterwards, we will go within our group and answer the questions of our participants. I hope that's okay with you.
Yeah, no, it was my own idea, so I agree on it.
Perfect. So, we talked about life transitions during this whole week, and there are different psychology approaches to life transitions and different modalities, different ways how we deal with life transitions, how we define them. But I'm really curious from your own personal perspective and your own personal life story, how would you define life transitions?
I think it's funny to go back for this question to the moment when I was sitting on the beach in Australia. There came surf dude came to me to ask if everything is fine because I was totally crashed by the big waves. I thought, oh, no problem, I catch some waves and I can do it. And yeah, I was really, I think that's maybe resilience in the surf world, really going back on your plank and pedal and you get your other wave and you don't make it and you keep having faith in maybe I catch the next wave. And that surf dude, he grabbed my shoulder and he said, doesn't matter, man. There will be a day that you are standing on the plank and that you will catch that wave and that you enjoy the moment, even if it's just 1 second. I get the goosebumps again. And I think for me, that's the explanation of, I think, a life transition. I think it's the same with surfing. You can't influence the waves. The waves are there. You can use them or you can make them your enemy. And I think if you don't have enough knowledge about surfing, like me, it's quite easy that they destroy you because you can read the waves. They are there. They become bigger, bigger, bigger. You try to pedal as a crazy guy, and with just the knowledge that I had, I could come on the plank, and sometimes I could catch the wave. And I think it's the same with the life transitions in life. I think it's if you just pedal and don't focus, or if you are too stuck and harsh in your body, it's never gonna work. And I think it's the same like with surfing. You need to feel it. You need to become one with the wave. And if you become one with the wave, it brings you to the next state. And I think that's for me really how I should describe life transition.
Yeah, it's interesting the story because it actually reminded me how you can't avoid the wave. So
No.
it's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah, it's there. You can wait, but then
Yeah.
or you can maybe wait for the next one. You can dive and you can wait for the next one. And if you try to keep up with all the waves, you will never catch a wave. You also need to time, you need to catch your moment, and you need to, yeah, I think also enjoy the moment. It's even if it's for a couple of seconds, you're on the plank and you're really king of a castle. And I think that's the same in life. It's if you are too harsh on yourself or try to do everything, it will become a failure. And I think failure will really, yeah, pull you down under the water. And yeah, even though you don't know what's up and down, you don't know which direction you need to go.
Yeah, actually, what you're saying is we can't avoid life transitions. They're going to happen eventually. The only way that we can change is how are we going to approach them?
Yeah.
And how are we going to embrace those life changes and life transitions, actually?
Yeah, because I think it are amazing opportunities to learn and to grow and to, yeah, explore what's behind the waves.
Mm-hmm. Actually, this is really related to my second question, which is, what can you gain from life transitions? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going back to the surfing. I think it's gaining muscles and gaining talent and gaining skills. But I think it's the same with life transitions. It's yeah, the muscles. I think it's resilience. It's really, yeah, okay. If you go down, yeah, just try it again. And I think there is no, yeah, you can call it a failure, but it's maybe also opportunity to do it again. And I know for sure if you do it again, I think it becomes maybe better than you tried before.
Yeah, I agree totally. We have someone joined. Marina. Hi, Marina.
Hey, hello.
Nice to see you here. Okay, so actually it's really goes aligned with the waves and with the surfing. I think life transitions are really connected with that approach. So I totally agree with your story. But I'm curious, from your personal perspective and from your life, how did you deal with your life transitions that happened to you in the past years? Although we know that we constantly have life transitions, but I'm not asking from like when you move from kindergarten to primary school, although those are also life transitions for younger children. But I'm curious about your own, which happened in the past 3 years.
Yeah, I think the biggest transition was 3 years ago when I really fell off my plank and didn't know what was up or down, and I was totally burned out. And I think that's, yeah, I kept on pedaling, trying, but not taking the rest or not taking the moment of revalidate, okay, what's actually my plan? What do I actually want to do? And I think it's, yeah, in the Netherlands we call it the burnout. And I think it's really the moment of that the body, but maybe even the universe tells you like, okay, it's better to stop and try it again. And that's really what I did. And I think it's if you compare it with like also the method that we use for bridges, that you really have like the cycle of you start, you need to end things, and then you have your neutral zone where you really use your time to revalidate exactly what you want. And I think for me, the state really allowing myself to change, I think that was quite a difficult one, also quite a rush one. It was, I couldn't anymore, so I needed to stop. And I think that I try to find a solution more in the spiritual world. So by meditating, yoga, I think really reconnecting with myself, because I think the opposite of stress is confidence. So I think because of the stress, I think I had the stress because I wasn't confident or sure what I wanted to do. And I think by really taking my time for myself to find out what I exactly want, I think that I gained a lot from that. But I think I go a little bit away from the question.
I'm curious, like when it comes to your specific life transitions, for example, from leading a stressful life with burnout to leading some type of different life. What was the most challenging in that life transition?
I think more the acceptance for myself. I think a part of empathy for how I was and the faith in who I want to become. I think really bridging those two things, I think that was the most difficult part. Because by becoming a totally new person, you don't have to think about who you was. I think that it was a part of maybe running away from my personal responsibilities by, I think, what they call maybe spiritual bypass, that it's really going too deep into yourself and losing connection with, I think, the real world. The same as the waves are there. It's maybe if you go too deep in spirituality, at least I think for me, you try to avoid the waves and maybe you're constantly flowing, but I think it's the same just sitting on your board. And I think it's after that when I really start to acknowledge, okay, I need to do something. So really accepting, okay, I did also amazing things before. So I think going back to revalidating what kind of person I was and what kind of values and what kind of behaviors I wanted to keep from my old personality and how I could combine it with the personality that I created more by mindfulness, spirituality, going deep inside of myself, health, food, and combining those two things. I think that was the most difficult part. I think it was really going up and down and maybe then totally full on, okay, I never eat meat again, I never drink again. But I think it's on the person that I am. I think I really like a good wine, so why should I say to myself, I never drink again? And I think really finding, I think easy word, finding the balance.
We have someone that joined. Hello. Nice that you joined us. So from what you're saying, actually, it seemed like it was challenging to bridge those two worlds. So at that point, it was maybe easier to totally destroy and deny who you were in the past and rebuild a new person. But then while you were going through it, you realized, but there were also some good sides of me that maybe I should have kept or I should keep or I should still nurture in combination with some new skill sets or new tools or something new that I want to bring in my life. And I think that's what often happens, especially if people went through things like you did with burnout, but also addiction. And then we try to maybe put all that side of our life, like, that never happened. But actually, it's what we're building is resilience. Again, we go back to the resilience, how to bounce back from that. And how
because I think if you keep on neglecting things, then it's easy that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
And I think also part of my real talents that also made me successful in the things that I did before were quite connected to my burnout, like doing things online or doing things more in the corporate scene, more leadership. I had fear to go back in that world because that was for me quite connected to my burnout, but also to my addiction. So it's yeah, I think really, yeah, I think combining with the compassion, like okay, but yeah, what were the good things that I did, and how can I pick the good things and what you said, the resilience, combine it with resilience to also, yeah, because I think it's also without spirituality, I think it's really difficult to live. But without action, there's also happening nothing. So for me, I think it's really, I'm so thankful for this opportunity that I had 3 years to really discover myself and also take my time to explore a totally different side. And I think that was really a side that also was me before, but I lost it on the way. And yeah, finding and exploring that side again, but on an older age, and now bringing those two worlds together, it's like it's quite legendary.
I think you more or less answered my next question. What was the most valuable lesson that you learned through your life transitions? Or maybe lessons, maybe there were more.
I think the understanding of the importance of love. I think that's, yeah, also that it's also connected. I think before it was more being more negative and losing faith, but like really, yeah, I think you really get, or you really attract what you express. So I think it's when you are positive, you will experience positive people in your life. When you feel love for yourself, you will attract other people who also feel love for themselves. And I think, yeah, also like the connection in my coaching sessions, it's so crazy that you can connect on such a deep level that it's in some moments you don't even need words. It's you feel the other person, and it's so powerful. And so yeah, I think exploring my sensitivity. I think something that I really pushed away. I think that's maybe also the reason of my addiction, that it's quite easy to hide the sensitivity or destroy the sensitivity by using supplements and that kind of stuff. But when there is nothing else, I think after my 10-day water fast, when I really experienced my true self, it was crazy. It's like I was so much more energized than when I took an energizer. I felt so much more ecstasy than by using ecstasy. It was, and it's all in myself. And I think that's, yeah, really, if we take care, we can produce everything by ourselves. I think it takes more time. And I think that's at the moment, everybody is so busy and everybody, it's easy to take a shortcut. It takes a lot of time and I think a lot of practice to really create the same feelings and the same, really get used to also your sensitive side, or putting it away. But now it's, first it was something that I didn't know what to do with it, but I think now experienced some elements, and now I can use it.
Mhm.
It's quite a cool tool.
It seems that actually what your life transition brought to you were actually some time to devote it more to connect with yourself, to connect with your sensitivity, to connect with love as well. So actually, what you gained from your life transitions that at that time seemed that what good can happen from all this, that actually brought really some good stuff. Although the road wasn't an easy one, it took some time to realize all those things and to experience them.
Mm.
So my question would be, because we have people going through life transitions constantly. So some people go from transitions like being an addict, working on their recovery, recovering from addiction. We have people changing places they live. We have people changing jobs. We have people who try to change their career, profession, divorce of parents, also breakups. So people constantly go through life transitions.
Mm.
And we all experience life transitions in different ways. So my question would be for you, what would be your message for all the people that are actually for anyone right now going through an important or just a life transition?
Yeah, it's amazing if you catch the wave. It will take time, it will take practice. But I think if you, yeah, I think it also depends on the kind of transition. I think some transitions, it's because of it's your personal responsibility. But like, yeah, going through a divorce of your parents, I think yeah, it's not that you need to accept it, but I think when it's more like a burnout or addiction, I think it's you need to take action by yourself. And I think it's the same with divorce or maybe the loss of a loved one. Um, it is what it is. Maybe it sounds hard, but if you think after you accept the thing, it becomes only easier. And I think if you don't accept, then yeah, then it stays like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think it's really difficult, and yeah, it needs guts and balls. But I think for me at least, when I really accepted, like, okay, this doesn't work, I had quite some help that they give me quite a big punch with sledgehammer, like, okay, you can't go like this anymore. But yeah, then it was, yeah, take action. It's nobody else will help you. They will be there for you as a community, but on the end, I think you are the person who need to take your responsibility.
Mhm.
You are the person who need to take the first steps, or you are the person who really need to ask for help. And I think there is often quite some shame around it. It goes around addiction, or maybe it goes around burnout or stress or depression. But I think yeah, is the shame more heavier than maybe the end result? I don't think so.
I also think that what is really important in life transitions, especially maybe the ones with divorce and death of someone close, I think it's really important that people know that it takes time and that it's totally fine and okay and actually needed that you readjust to this new life transition, that you learn how to accept it and to give yourself some space even to grieve and
Yeah,
for the
I think
loss.
that's
Yeah.
a really important part.
Yeah.
Also, I think also the part of like the different emotions, like grieving or anger, or I think it's also really allow yourself to express all the feelings. And yeah, I think who I mostly, for me, I think it was really a big insight when I flew to Thailand for the first time, and you get the security video, and in the plane they say, okay, if you have a child next to you, first put on your own mask and then help your child. Because if you put first the mask of your child and it doesn't work, maybe you can put on your own mask. And I think that was for me really a message like, yeah, if I don't take responsibility for myself to fix this shit, who will help me? And I think that really became a mantra in my head. Like, yeah, I think we are really responsible for ourselves. And other people, of course, they are there to assist. But this kind of things, it's also if you don't want to make the change, there will be no change. And so that's also like the program what we are making now, that there are youngsters who are taking the personal responsibility to, we are done with the situation how it is at the moment, we want to have change. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's really cool.
I totally agree. And hi to all the young people from the program who are watching tonight. I think that would be it.
Okay.
For the group on Facebook, or the people who were following us on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to thank everyone for taking the time and joining. And please, if you have any questions, feel free to maybe post it in the comment.
Yeah, maybe if they have no questions, I should say leave a comment, and then maybe we can answer quickly a question.
Yeah, for sure. But also later, we're here, so you can contact us. And it was really nice having a talk with you.
Yeah, we talk often and a lot. Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, and I think it was really interesting for people to see and to hear some different perspective on life transition and how can we deal with them, and that it's not all negative, and that actually life transitions give us a new opportunity to rebuild ourselves, but also help us to develop our resilience and to learn how to bounce back from life challenges. So next time when something like this happens, you have more knowledge, more experience, more wisdom. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.